you know, Boomer and Tori die. That's to be expected. Okay. Gaius and Six. I didn't really expect their story to end that happily, but in fact, they kind of get the happiest story, I think, besides Ty and Ellen, and then Athena and Hilo and Hera. His farming line was amazing. Like, oh my god, like my mom loved that part so much, and she doesn't like Gaius. So, I thought that was a really beautiful moment, and I was so completely and wholly satisfied with how they ended his story. Just how it gets, you know, he spends his whole life trying to get away from that, his roots, and then he ends up coming back to it at the end, and he doesn't. And he does get to just be with this woman, and he does want to be with her and only her. It's just really adorable. The problem I have with I have no problem with Adama leaving and, like, staying with Rosalind in her last moments. I have a problem with the fact that he doesn't come back. To me, that seems untrue. I don't see why you would leave your only son. I don't give a shit what reasons you got. I don't see why you would do that. I love the image of him. Like, I love the idea of him sitting on the hill and building the cabin with the grave, and, like, I love all of that. I love the image of it. I love the idea of it. If Lee had died, you know, fine. I don't see why he wouldn't have his mourning period and then come back and be with his son, because his son loses his father and Kara at least has a reason, because she's dead. But Bill doesn't, and I think that it's total bullshit that, like, he bitches. I have absolutely, there's just no excuse for that, in my opinion. I don't see why you wouldn't. You know, you've settled down finally, and you're not going to be with your son. So that was nonsense. The issue I had with the Lee and Kara scene was that while I really liked the scene, there's absolutely no acknowledgement of what they had. And, you know, there could have just been one line. All it took was one line just acknowledging something, but they don't acknowledge it, and so it's just ridiculous. And, like, Lee is left with, like, and I don't think he'll survive very long. I mean, I don't know, maybe he will, but I don't think Bill will survive very long either. I just have issues with, like, what they did with that last scene with them. I'm okay with the idea of it. I'm okay with her not, you know, with her disappearing. I'm fine with all of it. Even if I don't think it pays proper respect to the character, I have an issue with there being no acknowledgement of what they had, of what the series built up for so long. It just sort of got dropped, and I don't understand. Okay. The Rosalind stuff, her last moments were done really beautifully. I don't think they were hokey. I thought that they were genuine. I cried, I sobbed, I was a mess. I really just, that stuff was so perfect. It could not have been more perfect. I loved it. I loved Lee's line about I want to explore. It was like, the enthusiasm that he said it with was like he was 2. It was, or like that he was like 7 years old. It was so adorable. So Athena, Athena, Hera, and Hilo end up happy, and I was afraid that Hilo died for a little bit there, but he didn't. And you know, they weren't characters that are like my favorites. I kind of write them off pretty quickly. I find a lot of the other characters to be more intriguing, but you know, honestly, I really truly love them by the end of it. They're still not my favorite characters, but, like, I got really anxious about the idea of them not being happy together. So to see them, like, in the grass and just, like, as a happy family was really one of the most, besides the Gaius thing, and actually, even in a way, because I sort of, part of me wanted Gaius to die, and just sort of be, like, the person whose, sins, like, all of the, like, everyone's sins sort of get, like, piled up onto him, but, you know, I think that the Athena, Hera, Hilo thing is kind of the thing that was most, like, wholly satisfying for me. Okay. I've got 2 more observations here. One of them is, they're both really huge issues that I have with the finale. The first one is that there is no last scene between Bill Adama and Saltai, and, Yeah, that was fun. Since they're my favorite, since the entire show, like, there's so much time spent on their relationship and their friendship, and how, like, especially the last like 4 episodes just were completely building upon the fact that Saul cared about Bill more than anybody. And they don't get a last scene because Bill would really leave Ty. Like, I love the idea of Ty and Ellen being together and then finally just being together. I love that idea. I hate the idea that Ty and Adama don't get a scene together since everybody else gets a scene together. I am so furious about this. You have no idea. They literally are my favorite pair of people on the show. Like, they're my favorite interaction. More than Kara and Lee, more than Gaius and Six, more than Gaius and Rosalind, who I love. I love the Gaius and Rosalind stuff. More than anybody, they're my favorite. And apparently the show doesn't care about them that much, so that's fine. It's good to know. The last observation that I have is that I am of the opinion that the last 2 minutes of the series were the worst in the entire show's history. We went from like the whole him on the hill thing. I was like, oh, this is awesome. We're zooming out, or we're panning out, end it here. Please end it here. This is perfect. And while I know that the very last 2 minutes pays homage to the original series, I have serious issue with those last 2 minutes. I thought that if my show was like this, I would not watch this show. It was like watching a shitty movie. I hated it so much. I hated the dialogue. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I just really hate this. For a show that's really addressed the issues so subtly, I felt that they kind of took all the work and subtlety that they had accomplished in the past 4 years and just flushed it down the drain with, oh, all this has happened before, all this will happen again. Do you think it'll happen again with this group? I don't know. I think this group's different. Are you serious? It's never been a mystery that we are supposed to be one of these cycles and that we have the power to not go down this self-destructive path. I never thought that that wasn't a theme. I've always taken that as being one of the themes of the show, and the fact that they decided to just outright say it to us and say, like, I don't know, I think this group has the, power to change it all, was just like I was sobbing from the Adama Roslin stuff, and then I went from sobbing to literally just my jaw was hanging open with just like, are they for real? I think Ronald Moore being there was completely distracting and self-serving. I thought that and I just thought that their being there was corny. I thought that their acting was corny. I thought that it was literally everything that it's everything that the show, the last 2 minutes to me was everything that the show isn't. And that's what frustrated me. And then as if it couldn't get any worse, we have shots of robots. See, don't you get it? Like, we're on that path. We are going to do that someday. We are, already using technology too much. Because don't you get it? See the robots? See how their story correlates with our society? Because if you didn't get it before, you get it now. And we didn't need that. The people that are watching the show aren't stupid. And it's pretty fucking obvious that that's like what they had been, that we are supposed to make parallels with our own society. And the fact that they just decided to hit us over the head with it in the last 2 minutes of the show when they hadn't really done that beforehand, I was insulted as a viewer. I was insulted and just offended that like the show could get that bad. It doesn't even feel like the same show. It's very strange. So I hated that, in case you couldn't tell. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'm gonna give it like a 7.6. I mean, I don't know what to give it. Like, I don't know how to judge this. So overall, I'm not as angry about it as some people are. I don't hate it. I'm not as obsessed with it as some people are. I definitely had serious issues with it. It was a mixed bag for me, pretty much, and I think it was a mixed bag for most people. But I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any about the finale. Please don't rip me apart, because I know that everyone's very about what they think. So that's it for Battlestar Galactica. I had an awesome time watching the series. I will never forget it. I am truly happy that I watched it. And characters like Starbuck and Roslyn and Gaius and Belladonna and Saltai will live with me forever. And 6. I love 6. So that's pretty much it. Bye.